What's up? Today I wanted to talk to you about the essence of having a label nowadays. The reason why I wanted to talk to you about this is because the last few days/weeks I got a lot of questions online, but also from clients asking me like, why do I still need a label? And what's the value of having a label nowadays? Because you can do everything on your own online. So why would you give like 50%, 60%, maybe even 80% to a label if you can do everything by your own, maybe even for free? In this video, I want to give you my vision and my opinion on if you need a label or if you don't need a label. But I'm really curious about your opinion. What do you think? Do you think you still need a label? Do you think you can do everything on your own and still be as powerful? I'm just really curious because I think it's a really important discussion right now because the music industry is changing that much. So let me know your opinion by posting it in the comments down underneath. I'm really looking forward because I really have an idea about how this is going to work out, but I'm looking forward to having your opinion as well. So what I mainly think is that you don't necessarily need a label anymore. And let me go a little bit more deeper into that to explain it. In my opinion, back when I started, so let's say 10 years, 5 years back, you didn't really have another choice than looking for a label. You finished your track and then the next step was looking for a label and finding a label that fits and finding a label that wanted to sign the track and release it eventually. And of course, everything that the label did, so distribution, public relations, promotion, licensing, all those things, that's what the label did. That was important to me and that's why I wanted the label. But if you narrow it down to now, and if you have a look at where we are right now, 2017, all the internet things are being built and all the platforms are being built online, I'm just not really sure if you still need a label as a beginner. And let me explain why I said beginner there. That's because when you're a beginner producer, and you finish your first tracks, and you just want to get your music out there, like in my opinion, you need to put as many tracks out there as possible. Bootlegs, remixes, originals, doesn't really matter, as much content as possible. You have two options. You can send it to labels and wait for them to give feedback. And then eventually, if you get feedback or if you get signed, you still need to sign the contract. And it will probably take up at least a month, maybe even 2 months before the track even gets signed. Then you still need time to get released. So let's say you'll be 3 to 6 months in between the moment of sending the email to releasing the track. So you lost like 5-6 months there, 3 to 6 months, which is a lot of time. And in my opinion, time is valuable. Like the faster you move, the better it is. So why would you wait for a label if you could release it yourself right this second and plan it for like about 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now? There's a lot of platforms out there who support this, who give you your distribution network, and they make sure you end up on Spotify, iTunes, Beatport, all those platforms. And in my opinion, that's all you need right now. Just get your music out there as much as possible. And as soon as you've released your music, it's time to check to all the other subjects that you need to do as well, such as promotion. How do you handle promotion? That's one of the things that a label is doing for you, but which you should do on yourself if you release it yourself. So you should be really strong in networking. You should know playlist owners, Spotify playlist owners, but also Deezer playlist owners maybe, influencers on Instagram, bloggers, vloggers, all those people. Try to network and get your music in their playlist, in their video, in their photo or video on Instagram or whatsoever, or their vlog. It doesn't really matter as long as you do the promotion on your own. What a label normally also does is DJ promotion. They send out your track to other DJs in this industry to make sure that they play it in their shows or whatsoever, or on a radio show, and that's something you should do as well. So it's not only making sure your track ends up on Spotify and Beatport and iTunes, all those platforms, but the most important part is doing the promotion yourself. And I think that's doable nowadays because it's really easy for you to find out who's responsible for that playlist, who's responsible for this vlog, who's responsible for that blog. You just look it up on the internet, connect with that person, and try to fix if your track could get featured in their playlist or whatsoever. If I look at that as a beginner, I would just release as much music as possible on my own, so on platforms online such as TuneCore and DistroKid and all those platforms. Do the promotion yourself, and when your tracks are starting to perform well on platforms such as Spotify, labels will find you. And that's the leverage you want to have. I would really recommend starting releasing on yourself. Release it on Spotify and iTunes and all the other platforms. Release free bootlegs, give it away for free, and you will find out that within the next few months there will probably be a label who will be interested in your records because you already built a profile on those platforms. You already gathered some plays, you already maybe entered some playlists, or maybe some bloggers added you in their video. So why would you wait for a label if you could do everything on yourself and just work hard for it and make sure things are going to happen? So my advice for every young beginning producer out there: release as much music as possible, release it yourself on Spotify, iTunes, Beatport, all those platforms. Try to do the promotion yourself, so DJ promo, but also the playlist promo, bloggers, vloggers, all those people, and create bootlegs, give them away for free. And if there's a label along the way who will be interested, of course, you can take some time and dive into that. But in between that time, release as much as possible.